When I was born, true or false, the nurse said I had a big penis. I've told that to people. They don't believe me, so I need the nurse. The nurse said I had a big penis for a baby.
Yes.
Do you remember exact words?
No, I was a little busy.
But the nurse eyed my ween and said, "He's got a big ween." But it was said. I mean, that was what she implied. She said, "Look at me, it's accurate." So she thought I could have been half black. But she thought I may have had a black dad. Did I have balls? That dropped yet. The balls dropped?
We want the secret.
Surprise one. But I wanted
dabbled.
to jump right on the issue right away. As you know, Patreon filed a lawsuit against 72 of the bears that are currently in arbitration against them.
All dick worship is gay dick worship. Yes. If I go broke, it wasn't me. It was the Jew. You know, like a lot of dudes either they worship their own weens or they hate their own weens, and that is a real issue. I'm starting to realize why NASA has so much power. Like, I was just casually watching the launch, because bear in mind, I hadn't seen the launch yet, the SpaceX launch. I'd seen a few videos and stuff, but I hadn't seen the actual launch. And hang on a second, 1 second. Sorry. What am I doing here? What am I doing with myself? Here we go. All right, so tell me if you noticed something interesting about this.
In the elevators. 5, 4.
Like my wife's mother was like, "Did you see SpaceX's launch?" And Amy just writes back, "SpaceX is nonsense." And that was the end of their conversation, because Amy's married to a dude who's looking at other dudes' dicks. You know, so I'm like, that's not the only way for someone to believe NASA's real is if they need it to be real, because they want to see the biggest dick they can. Oh, that's a heavy payload.
3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff of the Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon. Go NASA. Go SpaceX. Godspeed, Spot and Doug.
America has launched.
It's launching.
Era of American space flight, and with it the ambitions of a new generation.
And so I was thinking about this. I was thinking about Alex Jones.
And so we have to assume that all 72 people on that list are going to be served. And so that, factors into our response.
Alex Jones notoriously has an extremely small penis. And that doesn't matter, guys. It really doesn't matter. It's how you view it. Do you put your penis in a pedestal or in a pit? Do you say, "Oh, look at my great shaft"? Or do you say, "Oh, I have no ween at all. Bring in the migrants"? Either way, it's bad. Penis worship is going back a long time. So I put on my detective hat to wonder why old Alex Jones here is always slack-jawed looking at the flying boners. So, it starts with the Washington Monument. When you look at that thing and you think, wait a minute, that doesn't look anything like George Washington. Didn't he have a wig and wooden teeth and a face with eyes and a nose? Like, what exactly is that thing? And as you know from my previous YouTube avatar of me last time I was in Washington, D.C., showing you exactly what that is. It is a phallus. And people from all over the world come to Washington's phallus to touch it and stare at it and be in awe of it and want it to be theirs. Okay, and right now a bunch of Catholics are like, "Oh, these stupid non-Catholics, they're so obsessed with wieners." Oh yeah? Well, here's the Vatican. As you can see here, what is that? What is that? The longest shaft. Oh, Big Bear, you're seeing stuff everywhere. Oh, really? Well, in China, it's a little more obvious. Here is a newspaper in China. So I put on my detective's hat and wondered, what exactly is that building supposed to look like? For those of you just listening, It's a penis. It's a circumcised penis with a penis head on it. And people are supposed to pretend that is not a penis. They're supposed to walk around your life and just say, no, Big Bear's seeing stuff again. No, that is a penis. So this Washington, D.C., this is supposed to show the prowess of Washington. And it makes men say, I want to be close to that thing. Okay, look at this. So, and then of course the Catholic, I don't remember reading in the Bible anywhere about a giant penis statue. Oh, it's not a penis statue. Okay, they are penis statues. Here we have, which one's this? Yeah, in China, it's pretty obvious because of our cultural differences. But here is a building in China. Now, it looks not only like a penis, but it looks like a dildo. It looks like an absurd caricature of an absurd penis. And these plans were approved, and the men with slack-jawed and drool, and the women they built it and they loved it and they want to be inside of it. Here is the Pearl of the Orient, another giant penis. Oh yeah, and for the Americans saying, "Oh, China is so gross." Oh yeah, all right. This is the capital of Nebraska. Here we have another penis. So as my tour, and then I see this in Dallas. I'm like, oh wow, that's not too bad. Maybe I am just seeing things. As you can see, it's a tower in Dallas. It looks a little bit like a penis and a head of a penis, but you know, it's not that gratuitous until you go down and there's the balls. So a lot of people in Dallas always wonder, why do they build these two giant balls in the middle of nowhere? Well, it's because if you stand in a certain spot, you can see that it's a giant dick and balls. Dick, balls, dick, balls. And then when you point it out, because you don't see, the reason I think I can see this is because I don't want to live vicariously through another man's penis. People who watch a lot of pornography do. And people who have an unhealthy relationship with their penis do. They either want it worshipped, oh, I got a massive one, or they hate it. I hate it. You bang my wife. Either way, it's really gross. And so someone like me that can see exactly what's going on here in Dallas, people say, oh, you're seeing things, Big Bear. No, I'm not. I'm not seeing things. Like, for example, this building here in Manhattan, you don't really, why is it like that on that corner? Oh, in a certain angle, there's the head of the penis. Why is the Leaning Tower of Pisa leaning? Oh, they're so bad at architecture. Nope, that's a boner. If the man is lying down on the ground, you can see that, you know, because that's how a boner actually is. Oh, you're the gross one, Big Bear. No, I'm not. I'm not the gross one. I'm not the gross one. I'm not the one making these in public. That's a giant dick and balls in public. No, I'm not the gross one, guys. That's what, I mean, guys, that building is a giant dick and balls. It's everywhere. You can see it everywhere. Here we go. Here's a nice, I believe this is, I think that is in the Vatican. You have a nice dick and balls squirting everywhere. Just piping hot semen for everybody to live vicariously through. And this is just from an extremely simple Google search. So you have the Washington, our nation's capital is an uncircumcised giant penis. And then you have the Vatican, the representation of Jesus Christ on earth is a giant uncircumcised penis. And then you get into China where they're a little more into their clipped weens, but they still worship it. And then here you have, that's a real building in China. That's balls and a dick. Here you have just blatant penis worship in Nebraska, penis worship in Dallas with balls and a head. And then, of course, you got to get into the squirting, or no, that's the obvious, that's sneaky penis worship. That's a nice boner when you're lying on your back in Pisa. Here you have a penis squirting everywhere. Nothing in nature looks like that. There's nothing in nature that's the head and a shaft of a penis with squirting everywhere. And then, of course, you have the great phallus in the sky, which brings me right back to my original point that Alex Jones is obsessed with other men's penises. It's why he's such an avid porn watcher. It's why he watches trans porn, because he wants even his women to have dicks. Guys, penis worship goes back thousands and thousands of years.
It kind of reminds me of this time when I was at Glam Slam, this club that Prince owned, with a group of my fellow dragons, and a guy wanted to start something. And one of my friends said, it looked almost like you had a bit of paralysis. I mean, I'm not going to go into any details because, of course, there's probably going to be, unfriendly individuals watching this stream, trying to glean as much information as they can.
I've been showing this to people for fucking ever, guys. That's my dick. And they're like, yeah, that's where I'm going to worship. Like, fallen men always worship the dick. Look at this big happy Owen. I was showing everybody, look, this, guys, this is what that is. Guys, George Washington doesn't look like that at all. That's not George Washington's face. That's his giant dick, and now it's mine. Now it's my giant dick. That's been my picture for years. That was my picture for years and years and years. That's why so many people want to be close. They just want to be close to it. Can I be near the Washington Monument? Why? Because it looks just like George Washington. Really? Where's his eyes and nose? It's just a penis. Can I touch the Washington Monument? Can I go in it? Can I squirt out of it? As a 6'8" guy who's been told his whole life that he has an above average penis, I know the slack jawed look in men. Like when Ben Shapiro took a picture with me and he was like, can I be close to it? I know what it is. Don't pretend around me. Like, I've had relationships with women where I could be like, I'm looking at giant black dicks. Because women don't really care. This guy's saying he's going to rape your like a dude's ass. Listen to it one more time, but listen not as a cuck. Pretend, guys, that you don't watch porn. All porn is gay porn. Pretend that you don't worship dicks. You do worship dicks.
And you're going to get your neck broke, your teeth kicked in, and your shit pushed back. And you really don't want that. Let me just...
What would your response be? Be like, oh, gee, what a redneck crazy person. Because he's black with the big dick in your mind, because you like big dicks, males, you're like...
Go ahead and tell you.
Dude, women are not into that. Some are because of trauma or because the zeitgeist tells them to. That isn't physically what a woman's vagina is drawn to. Just bang, 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 bang. Oh, I want you to hop in. It's gross. He's not shocked and appalled. He's turned on. Dude, Satan is the gay. Dude, no one's gayer than Satan. It's dick worship, guys. Satan is getting everybody to look at phalluses and going and unzipping. This guy's an animal. He's a He's a gay rapist. And people are like, oh, legend. Who do you let people like bang your wives? I understand why women feel that way. The woman who sent this to me, I get it, because it's like dominant. It's like, you come here, we'll fuck you up. He's also threatening a gay rape. When he says you'll get your shit packed in, that's his penis.
You know, if you're thinking about coming here to Alabama or, getting busted in or doing some shit here, you might not want to do that. I'm going to be honest. Just stay y'all asses the fuck home, because the worst thing that happens is you come down here thinking that you going to start some kind of fucking revolution and burn down some local businesses that we use, and you going to get your neck broke, your teeth kicked in, and your shit pushed back. And you really don't want that. Let me just go ahead and tell you. So again,
guys, he's a gay rapist.
Antifa members, stay y'all asses the fuck out of Alabama. Or at least just stay the fuck home and tweet about it, man. Come on now. Be safe.
Okay, so now what he's saying is if you come down to Alabama...
The demonic hybrid offspring of fallen angels have created alien civilizations all over the universe. I would think fairly low, but on the other hand, maybe that's what we get to do on level 2.
White men are obsessed with black dicks. A lot of them. Sagging the pants in prison. Hang on. Sagging the pants means you take it in the ass in prison. Right? It's easy access. If you're sagging your pants, that's why a lot of those rappers that were sagging their pants and they got all these young white kids to sag their pants, it was all a joke. If you're sagging your pants in prison, it's easy access to your ass. We're going to rape your ass. Like the first time I heard that, like a woman sent me that. Just like I get why Copper Bear's like, oh, legend. Okay, so imagine if I said that. If I said, hey, Antifa, if you come on my property, I'm gonna put you on the ground. I'm going to fuck your asshole. But by the way, just to let you know, if you do have that confidence, women will react just as positively to you as a black man. They don't want black men. They want strong men. They want men that... Listen to that again, guys. Like really, like listen to it as if you don't worship black dick. Like the first time I heard that, like a woman sent me that.
But what I will say, some of the stuff that's just incredibly obvious.
What I'm mocking isn't women. Women don't care. Women are like, they go with strength. They go with security. They go with power. For rape. Hey guys, I'm not worshiping that guy's dick. And I saw that right away when he said that. I laughed as soon as I saw it. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, dude, that's how they feel. And that's why they want to touch it. And that's why NASA right now is ruling so many minds of slack-jawed. You're coming right back, right? Oh, cool. Awesome. Sounds good. When you see these NASA fanboys, you know exactly why. Like, look at this dude. You know, he's got it on his shirt. He's like, and then yes, when it first happened, you'd think he was talking about gay porno. He was like, oh, look at that heavy payload. It's so thick. It's because that's the biggest one. The ISS, and every one of them shaped like a dick and balls, because it makes the evacuated men, the ones who have given up their families, given up their lives, it's like, if anything happens, it wasn't my fault. It's the doctors. If I get unhealthy, it wasn't me. It was the grocery store food. Oh, they're just. I'm not going to protect myself. It's the cop's job. I'm not going to own or load a gun. I don't have to speak and deal with consequences. That's the newspaper job. Oh, And so these same guys are like,
stay y'all asses the fuck out of Alabama.
I know how gay Satan worship black dick.
They're accusing me of having raped this person, but I couldn't have raped him. I murdered them. What kind of lawyers does Vox have that don't consider alligators dangerous? Really big prehistoric crocodiles. They don't consider alligators dangerous. They eat alligators for lunch.
The demons start taking over. Squirt programming. Just classic squirt programming. MK Squirtra.
Anyhow, the main thing that I would say to the 72 is welcome to the front lines.
Dude, fish sticks. What would a society that ships the alternative look like, BB? This
is what it's like, but you're going to be proud that you did this when it's over.
Used to tell me that I was beautiful. And so he's like, you know how I got these scars? My father was a drunk. I love that.
So, I would just say, you have a lot of confidence in Owen, and, what would it do to my reputation if I were to turn my back on you? It's not going to happen. And you can ask any of the Dread Ilk. So,
wow, what a great guy. Guys, he just said if you come to him, he will fuck your ass. He's gay. He's a gay rapist. Oh, Candace? Candace is so boss. Let's just launch some missiles over in Iran and see what happens. They're going to freak out. Oh, Jesus, they're going to come for us. Saying, all the mailman's here. Oh, wow, you're squirting.
And you're going to be victorious when it's over.
I'm serious, because women are just like, it's if you are worship dicks, you worship dicks. Like, a dude with a big dick that, like, acts like it's God. Like, this is my boner. It's fucking great. The women that are part of that religion of dick worship, even though if they don't know it, they don't even know it. They're like, okay, because it's their God. You'd be like, that makes me sad, but you go crush with your huge dick. Penis worship is penis worship. If you worship a man's penis, they can do anything they want. So that's why that scene in Game of Thrones, remember that scene with that dude in the first season who got the blonde girl, the head of the horsemen, and he's like, we will come to your shores. He's giving this big speech. He's like, we will rape your women. And everyone's like, yeah. Penis worship. You know, if I was there and he was like, we're gonna come and we're gonna burn your crops. I'm like, yeah, screw those guys. It's like, and then we're gonna rape your women. I'd be like, not signing up. Has a weird relationship with his own dick, who worships black dick and black masculinity. Guys, he just threatened to rape a man. You understand? You want to pull back the legend comments? Protecting your area does not involve a gay rape, guys. If someone's like, hey, if Antifa comes down here, what are we gonna do? We're gonna protect ourselves. We're not gonna riot. Hell no. We're not gonna loot. We're not gonna burn down our brothers and sisters' businesses and houses. No. We're not. No. We will stand up to them if they want to come here. We're gonna beat their ass. Yeah, and then we're gonna fuck their ass. What? What'd you say, dude? What? What'd you say right after beat their ass? You know, I was a little carried away. What do you mean? No, I was just saying, like, we can fuck it though, right? Isn't that intimidating? No, that means you got a boner and you fucked a dude. What? Why did you just say that? It's like, no, we're gonna beat their ass. No. What'd you say right after beating his ass? I'm gonna pack in his shit. What'd you mean by that? I just thought it sounded really tough. You think it's tough to rape a guy? You think it's tough to become sexually aroused by a guy and fuck the guy? Can I watch? I need to see that.
You know, this is what community is for.
I watch a ton of pornos. I worship dick. You know, because these monuments are a worship to dick. Like, dude, it's been going on a long time, guys. This is going on a long time. You know, it's people just get together and they're like, what do you want to build? And it's like, you know what we want to build. You know exactly what we want to build. You know, we want to build a big old dick. And then lean out repeats it. People think that that's an accident. People think that that's like, oh, it started leaning. How bad? No, guys, that's a dude lying on his back. Yeah. It's just all over the place. Just squirting and launching. All right. There's no, guys, you can't build buildings like that and have it lean. Look at it. And then the columns, it's just a ton of little dicks. It's like one dick to rule them all. So it's like all these little dicks building up to the big dick. And the big dick gets to, hang on, where is it? The big one gets to squirt. And that's what NASA is. Leaning tower of penis. Also in public school, dudes draw dicks. Right. It's dick worship.
You know, I have a lot of confidence in all the bears. You know, one thing I've learned about the bears is that, you know, they're very different than the dread elk, and they're very different in a lot of ways. But the one thing that you can never accuse them of is a lack of courage. You know, it doesn't cost anything to post on the blog or you know, watch the open dark streams and so forth. And so, you know, just stay involved, because you're going to bounce back. You know, a lot of people are going through difficult times now, and we understand that. And you know, just don't let your spirits get down. So, you know, I never ever have anything but sincere sympathy for somebody who has to cut back on things.
Holy shit. And then you hear the sound of a zip. He's just unzipping. It's all about squirting. The whole fucking stupid thing. It's edging. They're like, let's put a mask on our face for 3 months, and then we're gonna stand up for blacks. Oh my God, they're coming for me. No, but anyway, the original thing I wanted to talk about, for no reason. Oh yes, dude, they love it. They love it. I'm coming for you. Ew. That's not what I meant. No, you're coming for me? What? You whacking off right now? No. Zip. Like they're like, oh, let's just go bomb Iran and just see what happens. Oh, Jesus. So many of those guys won't have a home to go back to. What are they going to do with all that power and energy? Just, oh no, here they come. Missile launch. Oh, Jesus. It's all about dick worship. Dick worship. Oh, they're coming for me. They're coming for me. Oh, Jesus, we're not going to survive the winter. Oh, look at these tall Aryans. Such a big explosion downtown. Dude, it's all edging and coming. The whole fucking thing is edging and coming. It's like, wear a mask for 3 months. Don't touch anyone. Don't look at anyone. Don't hug. Be scared. Stay in your house. And then squirt. What are you going to do? Just get out in the street. Guys, there's probably a lot of fucking weird shit happening out there. It's like, cover up. Don't look at anyone. Why? Because you're edging. What is edging? It's like when you just milk it. Just milk it. Oh, Owen's dirty. It's clearly all sexual. Don't look at anyone or they're going to get you sick. Don't touch. Dude, that's why homos became so sexually charged, is because it became a fetish. It was like, oh no, don't say you're good. Don't talk about it. Don't see it. No, nothing. And then it became this like closet. That's why they got so supercharged and crazy. Because they're like, oh, in this dungeon, we can do everything that they won't let us do. Squirting. Dude, it's all so sexual. It's all squirting. And the engine of it is new. It's fear porn and fuck porn. Porn and the news. Porn and the news. Porn and the news. Dick worship, dick worship. Dick worship, dick worship. It's self-hate, self-obsession. Self-hate, self-obsession. Get on your knees, slave. Wear this. And then it was like, you're everything. Look at this. Squirting. Everything was fucking... Dude, the whole thing is sexual. It's S&M. It's all sadomasochism. You know, put on a mask, slave. And then what happens? Then it's like, oh, erupt, explode. Let me see what you got. Squirting. How do you get around all this? There's one path. Everything else is shit. It's all sexual. It's all sexual. Salt Lake City, Utah is only white people and some Samoans. And not a few of me, some Owens. And they're flipping cop cars, they're setting fires. Dude, it's about sex. They cover their face to get that fetish going. They're you know, strangle me. Out there's a lot of anger. And I'm gonna exploit it. Let's see how loyal a hungry dog really is. You people care about tweets. We need a better class of politician. I like simple things like giant dick buildings and people breaking shit. Out there, people aren't happy. And that energy is going to build into a squirt. Someone's going to just come out of their dick. All right, just watch it one more time.
David, I mean, I know you're a sophisticated guy. The world is a mess. The world is as angry as it gets. Well, you think this is going to cause a little more anger? The world is an angry place.
The old town road, I'm gonna ride till I can't no more. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town
So anyhow, this is the goat skin. This is the Libraria Castalia. Subscribe if you want to be able to get the Divine Comedy. Other than that, if you have questions, you feel free to ask Owen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Full Blown Legends brings you Chuck Boris.
Coming on the radio today by a band called Late Chuck Tones. Here we go.
Life is strange and you know you gotta do just to survive. You got to hustle and you know that baby I got mine. Would it make you cry if you knew about the things that you put aside? Are you scandalized? Cause you know that I'm mentioning it on the slide. TT's a nanny, but she moves a little weird on the side. She paints houses and who the hell knows what goes on when they dry. On Friday nights, we get together and we talk about this crazy life. Are you scandalized? Cause you know that once in a while we get undignified in our private lives. In our private lives. That's the way we live. Don't dwell on it. At the end of the day, we got love to give. That's the way we live. Don't dwell on this. Time's chasing up these people that are the reason I'm alive. The town freaks and the sleazies bring a tear to my eye. I'm like a child, skinny dipping with the squares on the other side. We're all scandalized. In the city we've been working for a different prize. In our private lives. In our private lives. That's the way we live. Don't dwell on it. At the end of the day, we got love to give. That's the way we live. Don't dwell on this.
Boris.
In our private lives. In our private lives. Don't think more.
Now something new from Johnny Arcade.
As I've pointed out repeatedly, Davy Crocco did exactly the same thing that CNN did. He committed defamation. CNN is now paying millions of dollars to Nick Sandmann. Now, obviously, that's not likely to happen because Mr. Marcello does not have millions of dollars. No, so we have to dig up everything. That's why I gave people the opportunity to come forward. Given the fact that Mr. Marcello lives in a house that sold for what, $121,000 or so, I don't think we're going to be going up against Harvard Law and Stanford Law again.
Oh, he doesn't think so, does he? What's going on, everybody? Davy Crocco, David Marcello, as Vox Day likes to call me. It's funny how he, when the Patreon lost, if you guys don't know, Owen fucked himself through Vox Day advice. Out of all the daddies he could pick, he picked Vox Day. Imagine that. Out of all the daddies he could have had. He could have had Crowder, he could have had Rogan, he could have had literally the daddy he wanted, Jordan Peterson, and, been in the same house with Michaela, who he has a fetish for. But it's funny how Vox Day now, he's involved in this case with Patreon because he's the one that pumped it up, although I think he's leaving his name legally out of some things, and Owen's going to take the fall, and Owen and him are just converging for that great breakup that we always know happens with Owen and his daddy figures. So I expect that by mid-July, especially when the hearings start with this Patreon suit. Now, Monday the 15th is the day I'm setting up a stream to talk about everything Owen and Vox Patreon suit related, whatever else we want to bring up. Just make fun of them, have a good time. I got E. Scorpio committed, Johnny Arcade, and Sam Whitfield. Milker Nation would love you to be there. Alan, if you could be there. And we need someone with some kind of legal kind of, prowess. I tried to talk to Nick Rekieta last time with the Vox stuff. He was very kind of standoffish about it. I don't know if they have a friendship or just he didn't want to get involved. Saw that from a lot of people, just not wanting to get involved for some reason, not ruffle feathers, which was weird, when, so one-sided, how much we were right and what they were doing, but, whatever. So I tried to reach out to Rekieta again. We got a guy in Discord who seems pretty up to date on some of the law and the arbitration and what's going on. So we're going to get him. So Monday the 15th, late at night, hit me up in Discord. I'll put those links down in the description. Now, if you guys were at the stream last night, you'll know that it cut out towards the end, and I apologize for that. I don't know what happened. My computer did not freeze. OBS did not show me that anything dropped. It just literally cut out. But what I was trying to do, and all I was trying to do, was enlarge this picture while a video was playing. Maybe I need a new computer. And this was when I was talking about the old school, when they first started laying out ideas for cemeteries. I told you it was like geometrical, combining it with the natural style. So they'd have these like walkway pathways, all in these weird geometrical shapes, and then how they would bury the bodies. So I just thought it was a very cool little thing that I was trying to show you last night, and that's why we got cut off. Now to insanity. Cops, and I mean, look at this line. Cops TV series canceled after 33 seasons amid police brutality protests. It's like a perfect storm. I mean, everything has to be 33, right? I mean, they don't just throw that number in for nothing. It's not a coincidence that they're canceling them at the 33rd season. But at the height of the tensions of the stupid Black Lives Matter movement and all the nonsense that they're screaming about right now, they wanted to fund the police. So I guess part of that is get rid of movies that have police in them. Get rid of any TV shows that have police. Live PD is going to stop showing shit. People are getting kicked off of YouTube for showing riots. I mean, this is news. This was the biggest news last week as far as mainstream. Now, NBC, ABC, all of these stations, even Vox and Fox and all these people can show it. But personal YouTube channels show it and they end up getting in trouble. Look at GloomTube. Look at these other channels, Breaking 911, constantly losing verification, not being able to monetize anything. I mean, not that we've ever been able to, but, if they're just reporting on what's going on, I don't see why not. But the television series Cops, one of the longest running shows on TVs, was canceled amid growing protest. The guy that wrote this name is John Vibes. Okay, dude. All right. John Vibes, you need to calm down a little bit. Oh, you guys can't see his picture as well as I can. Trust me, John Vibes is, out there having some fun. And his name's not John Vibes, I don't think. In most mainstream television shows, movies, or books, the police are almost always the heroes of the story, and much of real-life experience that people have with police are often let out of the picture entirely. This has helped to maintain the prevailing narrative that the police are the good guys. Okay, we all know watching Cops that they're just going to show cops arresting people. Like, it's not about a good guy, bad guy thing. It's just a TV show. It's like when you watch one of those prison lockup shows. Are they just showing it to show you inmates are fucking crazy and do crazy shit? No, it's entertainment. So they show you the most entertaining parts of it. Yeah, if they had on footage that they pulled some black guy down and beat the shit out of him, I don't think they're gonna air it on Fox the next week and out themselves. That would probably be handled in a court of law. But 33 years, Cops is now gone. I mean, how funny is that? 33 years. Got rid of Cops. Now, Looney Tunes is going to be back, guys. I don't know if you've seen this. There's an official trailer.
Yeah, what's up, John?
I'm challenging you to an arm wrestle.
Now, you guys might notice something about Yosemite Sam. See if you can notice.
Match, rabbit.
Coochie coochie coo.
You see what their dueling match was? The new Looney Tunes isn't gonna have fucking guns in it. In a new series based on Looney Tunes, the classic character Elmer Fudd. Sorry, I said Yosemite Sam. My Looney Tunes isn't up to date. I'm gonna get killed in the comments. But he's no longer gonna carry a gun. Elmer Fudd is no longer gonna carry a gun. Well, just can you guys give me 1 second? All right, this is Elmer Fudd. The person in the clip was Yosemite Sam. All right, so fuck off. Not you guys, but Elmer Fudd's not going to carry a gun. Yosemite Sam's not going to carry a gun. Now he's got a Sith. I mean, what is going on? The Gwym Wabbit Weeper. Okay, I'm almost done with reading this article. However, comic artist Johnny Ryan, who worked on the show, we're going through this wave of anti-bullying. Everybody needs to be friends. Everybody needs to get along. Looney Tunes is pretty much the antithesis of that, he said. It's two characters in conflict. Some pretty violent. This is the guy, Johnny Ryan.
Hi. Redrawing the comics that I read. It started with just the newspaper comics.
Okay, so you're going to ruin Looney Tunes. I don't even want to fucking hear you talk. But yeah, Looney Tunes can't show any guns, won't show any guns, because obviously all those killings, you guys may not know this, but back in the day there was a long rash of killings, and they were, you might have heard of the Son of Sam. That was actually based on Yosemite Sam. Because of him showing guns. So I'm glad they actually did something about that. Now, just a little bit about the psyop of George Floyd. Now they're saying Derek Chauvin definitely bumped heads while working at nightclub. Co-worker David Pinney told CBS News that the two didn't simply know each other, but they had serious friction between each other. So now they're bringing out more parts of the psyop. First it was, they might have passed each other while working. It's a big security detail. Sometimes you don't meet people. He was in another part of the building. Now it's, not only did they know each other, but oh boy, they've been getting in fights before. They had friction. Like, this would be a fight. We already saw the footage, if you even believe it, but no way this guy's taking this guy down. As the mourners laid the body of George Floyd to rest, a former co-worker of both Floyd and his killer, now former officer Derek Chauvin, has revealed that not only did the two not know each other, but they clashed with one another while working the same shifts at the club, in a bizarre twist of the ongoing that hints at the potential motivation behind the apparent murder. Okay, so they're going to go that he had a beef with this guy at a nightclub where they work security. So he got a call to show up to a gas station. So he decided to kill him. I mean, people fall for some pretty dumb shit, but let's relax a little bit. Yeah, he might have had a little extra motivation to arrest him. Again, it's all a psyop anyways. But at the end of the day, they're just trying to put this in your head to say, there was premeditation there. This is what they're trying to do. And this is all going to go into the court case. It has a lot to do with Derek being extremely aggressive within the club with some of the patrons, which was an issue. Chauvin was arrested, originally charged with 3rd degree. Now it's 2nd degree, upgraded by General Keith Ellison. Good guy there, too. Don't forget about Keith Ellison. Always doing the Lord's work. However, the family of George Floyd has been convinced that the killing was driven at least part by personal motives. Benjamin Crump, classic Boulay attorney, he's going to represent any black defendant. He's like the Gloria Allred. When you got these lawyers that just position themselves in that anytime there's a case, you're going to see their fucking mug. But he's also demanded that Chauvin be charged with 1st degree murder. And this is where they're going to fuck up. They should have stayed at 3rd degree. Again, it's a psyop, but if you're actually going to arrest the cop, you're not going to get him on 1st degree premeditated murder. Because guess what? He had to get the call to go there. So he had no premeditation or plans in his head to go there before he got the call. So your case has already dropped out of the window, and this is why you guys are fucking dumb. Switching gears a little bit, I want to show you guys something back from June 18th, 2011. And you know those annoying targeted ads you guys get? Well, let's go to Eric Schmidt of Google and his Israeli dream team. Gogobot founder Ori Zaltzman, I don't know, it sounds like a very Jewy name. Israel is among the countries with the highest number of internet users that log on to our site. This is in 2011. This past March, Google chairman Eric Schmidt celebrated his 10th year at the giant search engine company. So CEO of Google at the time. And he buys this site called iView, saying it's going to be $1 billion company. iView has become one of Schmidt's favorite startups. After raising $500K in the first round, the Israeli startup raised $1 million this month. In total, the company has raised $6 million. So iView is an Israeli company founded in 2007. The company's technology enables advertisers to create targeted video ads in real time so that each surfer will be exposed to a different version of the same video ad. Among iView clients are AOL, Facebook, YouTube, Johnson & Johnson, and McDonald's. So his Israeli company, Eric Schmidt, is the reason you're getting those targeted ads. Now, the media is ignoring Israel's connection to Eric Schmidt's push for New York smart cities. Now we're in current day. Just a little history of him in 2011. Now in 2020, in recent weeks, considerable media attention has been given to the decision of Governor Cuomo to tap former Google executive Eric Schmidt to lead a 15-member panel tasked with reimagining New York's post-pandemic tech infrastructure. This is all going to be Israel, guys. And this is, when he says reimagining, think reset. Like the great American reset of 2021 that I keep telling you about. The post-pandemic tech infrastructure. And I already showed you that they've spent hundreds of $millions bringing in Israeli tech firms to shore up their tech startups and their tech industries in New York City. We already talked about what Washington, D.C. has going on using Israeli cybersecurity. But this is their post-pandemic tech infrastructure as well as its education, economic, and healthcare system. Reset everything, along with Bill Gates, who's also recruited on this panel. However, it's much more than merely a Silicon Valley experiment. Schmidt currently chairs the National Security Commission on Artificial Intelligence, which discussed plans last May regarding how to reset American society to foster the mass adoption of AI-driven technologies. Big tech, the Pentagon, and the U.S. intelligence have become increasingly blurred in recent years. And I showed you that Pentagon video that they're talking about the unavoidable dystopian future. Unsurprisingly, one of the main initiatives that the Schmidt-chaired New York panel is set to promote is the fast-tracking of the smart city. Implementation as outlined by the Schmidt-chaired NCCIA, the use of the term reimagining in the announcement that Schmidt would chair this panel also underscores this point. Given that Google's smart city subsidiary, Sidewalk Labs, describes itself as reimagining cities from the internet up, smart cities are more accurately defined as cities that are micromanaged by technocrats via an all-encompassing system of mass surveillance and a vast array of Internet of Things devices that provide a constant and massive stream of data that is analyzed by artificial intelligence. But who builds them? Well, last year they had a partnership with the Israel Innovation Authority, a branch of Israel's economy ministry that aimed to further strengthen economic development ties between New York State and Israel. As technology advances and touches every facet of our daily lives, the future of smart cities is just around the corner and highly depends to new and innovative technologies. This collaboration between the Empire State Development of New York State and the Israel Innovation Authority facilitated by Our America's Operations Desk and Ministry of Economy, Foreign Trade Administration, headed by Mr. Aaron Elroy, Economic Minister to North America, will provide startups an opportunity for pilot validation. Yeah, so that means they're bringing in Israel to build New York's new smart city in the Great Reset. Who do you think it was going to be, guys? Who do you think was going to be resetting everything?
Now, you guys all know about smart cities, hopefully, and Internet of Things, and this whole concept, even 5G tied in with all of this, is something that is alarming, to say the least. Eric Schmidt being someone tied to Google and all the different usual suspects, of course, Cuomo, New York, the whole thing. And this ties back to the idea, and I'll actually just open with what you said. It says, with New York Governor Andrew Cuomo recently announcing that former head of Google, Eric Schmidt, would lead an effort to reimagine, as we recently talked about, post-pandemic life in the state, which I guess is a foregone conclusion now. Media reports have failed to note that the groundwork for that reimagining was laid last year and intimately involves the state of Israel. So tell us about this, Whitney, and tell us how far-reaching this is and why we should be alarmed by it.
Right. So not long after my report on Eric Schmidt heading this National Security Commission on Artificial Intelligence and all the plans that they had from last May to basically like remake American society, Andrew Cuomo of New York appointed Schmidt to head a 15-person panel that's going to quote unquote reimagine life in New York after coronavirus. And one of those things that Schmidt is set to promote is something that he, when he was head of Google, was very intent on promoting as well through Google's subsidiary Sidewalk Labs, which is the creation of smart cities.
So Whitney Webb doing some great work on this as well, and I'll try to link this down below. The Last American Vagabond, Whitney Webb seems to write a lot for, so you should definitely check her out. I'm still in talks with her. We will get her on for an interview, do not worry. Black misleaders are seeking to end grassroots protests. Now, this is a new article, but guys, what have I been telling you since the beginning about the elites and the Boulets and the Black Lives Matter and how they are pawns to the elites and they've always wanted to be Skull and Bones. They've always wanted to be the Illuminati. And you have these black leaders that anytime there's a grassroots protest, come in and stop them. And this is just another new example. And they'll go with Atlanta Mayor Keisha Bottoms was among the worst. She accused protesters of disgracing her city, to go home. For good measure, she said if you wanted to change America, go vote. Mark Morale from New Orleans, mayor and the president of the Urban League, and Susan Rice, former national security advisor, both in separate interviews, they both accused the Russian government of instigating discontent. If it's white supremacists, if it's Russians, if it's other foreign actors who've tried to exploit the pain of and exploit protests, then this is a new level in our country. So they always try to move things away. The Black Alliance for Peace says no compromise, no retreat. They pledge they will expose the likes of Keisha Bottoms and all these people. So you have these smaller black-led movements that are going to try to go after like Susan Rice and these people, and they're going to lose, as always. You can't have any grassroots. It has to be a Black Lives Matter. It has to be an NAACP. It has to be elite-funded and elite-approved. And we talked about this the other day with Marcus Garvey back in the day, how he built up millions of dollars in schools and hotels and opportunities for black people. And then someone came in and took it all away from him. And that guy's name was W.E.B. Du Bois. And this guy's name is Henry Minton. He came up with the Black Skull and Bones, if you guys don't remember. In 1904, African American Greek Society was formed in Philadelphia by Dr. Minton. The Boulay recruits top blacks in American society, almost 5,000 members. But to who does the Boulay really serve? The satanic, mostly white, global elite. As long as the black members conform to the rules, the riches will be in abundance. If not, down comes the hatchet. Blackmail is part of the deal. The Masonic secret society has a pyramid style like all the rest. The lower ranks are kept from knowing what the upper ranks are doing. The early 20th century was a period of reconstruction. Marcus Garvey's Back to Africa movement was in full swing. Garvey represented genuine black leadership. W.B. Du Bois, founding member of the NYC chapter of the Satanic Boule, said, "The Boule was created to keep the black professional away from Marcus Garvey. Remaking the House Negro was necessary to institute a group of blacks who had a vested interest in protecting an elite white system." So this is what the black movements actually stand for and actually are doing. White people believe we are less likely to suspect any ill form of our own kind. For this reason, they have created a group of NIGGER puppets to protect and serve and guard their political powers. The group is a secret society known as the Boule. The group's symbol is a Greek sphinx. It was founded by Henry Minton and goes right along with the secret skull and bones of the Yale University. The Boule is a Masonic organization. They look down on the lower class black people, preferring to identify themselves with wealthy white people, although the wealthy white people do not accept them, so they're right in the middle. If Henry Minton, who was a black man, wanted to create a secret society based on his beliefs, what type of evil spirit is he? Page 38 of the Boule history book reads, "In the building of the organization's plans, reliance was placed upon Greek history and tradition. The reasons of this action are not difficult to discover, for it is well known that the study of Greek civilization was basically an acquaintance with Western civilization, although Greek culture had relationships with the culture of the Orient. What they are not saying is that the Greeks didn't have a relationship. They stole their information from the ancestors. In addition, it's clever how they choose not to even mention Africa, settling for saying the Orient." So they just mix up things in these boules, and they try to change history. But it's their black form of black Masons. And like I said, anytime there was a actual black movement, and anytime there's an actual grassroots black movement, the white or Zionist approved movement comes in to squash them. You don't think there's any other lawyers out there when a black person is killed during a police interaction? You think Benjamin Crump is the only lawyer that could take those cases? Well, he is the only one. Now let's talk a little bit about Vox Day, just to give you guys a little idea of what these motherfuckers are up to. Like I said, they got the lawsuit coming. Arbitration bears. If you're one of the 72 on the Reddit list, it's not a Reddit list. What he's talking about is these 72 people listed on a court document for summons because they're going to get pulled into court because Owen convinced about 90 bears, 90 to 100 bears. He was left with 72 virgins. But like Vox said, if you're one of the 72 virgins, be aware that Patreon may try to serve you since the judge refused to grant them the preliminary injunction to stop the arbitration that they were seeking. It's useful if you can avoid being served. The funny thing is that Patreon would have been better off not trying to push it up at all. Vox is getting scared. Now, I don't think Vox is going to lose out too much because he put everything onto Owen. But just so you guys know, Reddit's not doxing anybody. This is a court document. I mean, this is them telling them, you've been served. You have 30 calendar days after this summons and legal papers are served to you. It's not my fault they name everybody here. Like I said, Vox had no problem saying my real name, but he has a problem with Reddit putting this list out on there. Sounds very hypocritical, Vox. And now he's telling people to avoid being served? Why? If you guys are so hell-bent that you're going to win and you guys are there, well, obviously all they want is a settlement.
Patreon has filed a lawsuit in California against 72 of the 95 or so backers who are in arbitration against them.
The irony about all of this is by them doing this, they're just opening up their jaw to the hardest hook imaginable. Every time they throw a haymaker, they open up their jaw.
So you take a little jab,
I'll hook you in the jaw. And I'll cringe. Someone needs his meds. My generation doesn't take meds. And this court thing is insane because they just opened up the ability for us to counter.
Shout out to Milker Nation.
With a 4 million Patreon class action against deceptive practices when we were just trying to arbitrate with them. And they didn't want to pay their arbitration fees, so now they're possibly just going to give up their whole company.
The way that they wrote their case out, it's a confession of the deceptive practices that we're accusing them of.
Yes.
Owen has no idea what Vox is talking about because Vox has no idea what they're talking about. These motherfuckers are the people you paid for almost a year and a half now to set you up a streaming service you still don't have. You paid Vox almost like $700,000 for leather-bound books you haven't got yet. Owen can't do picture-in-picture on his own screen. He can't even have Vox come and show up on video. And you paid these motherfuckers. You paid into their Patreon and actually got involved in a Patreon lawsuit that's going to come back to bite you in the ass. Wow, you guys are fucking idiots. Holy shit, these are the people you chose to lead you? Take a good look at the screen. Wipe away what you think you love about these people. Look at them. Look at them. You bought these motherfuckers snake oil. I mean, you literally bought snake oil from Owen Benjamin with turpentine. I mean, I can't even go through all the dumb shit. Monday the 15th, everybody's going to come on here and we're all going to have a go. I can't do it all by myself, and I don't want to. I want everybody involved because everybody kind of called this. And my bravado back then, and I had to step up to the front lines and go against these motherfuckers, and some people had my back and some people didn't. Now, I think we all can agree it's time to go in on these motherfuckers. But what do they want at the end of the day? Money, money, money. Money, money, money.
Know all of the relevant options and, can, because everything is going to be decided well before it ever gets to that stage. 80% of all arbitrations end in settlements.
So what they want is a settlement from Patreon that they're not going to get. They're going to end up paying Patreon most likely. And I love that in the court documents, Patreon terminates an individual user, Owen Benjamin Smith account, prompting a demand for arbitration. On October 9th, 2019, Patreon terminated creator account of an individual named Owen Benjamin, a self-described comedian. Even in the fucking court documents, they don't go comedian Owen Benjamin. No. A self-described. Giving yourself your own nickname. Self-described. Now, Patreon terminated Smith's account after determining that he repeatedly disseminated hate speech. We don't agree with the deplatforming or anything. But, I mean, they bring up targeting Jewish people, mocking rape survivors, people with AIDS, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Soon after the termination, Smith, through his attorney Philip Mann, filed a jams demand for arbitration, asserting claims against Patreon for breach of contract and torturous interference. I wonder where he learned that. Now, his lawyer Philip Mann is also a member of Vox Day's blog. He's always posting on there. But what he really wanted was money. On November 5th, 2019, they were threatened with 83 additional claims. That's the 72 virgins. Patreon claims unless Patreon agrees to pay $2.2 million to Owen Benjamin and reinstate his account. Then they're going to continue, blah, blah, blah. Smith and the individual patrons in any discussion with you based upon the required relief described above, Patreon rejected that demand. So what did Owen do? He came back and said, I want to bring 100 more Patreon users to file individual claims, all based on a script me and Vox Day gave them. Now I want 3.5 million and to reinstate my account. Patreon also rejected that demand as well. They're also sending them out legal documents showing their terms of service, showing that Owen and the Bears have no case. I don't think Vox is named in this suit, unless if I'm wrong. I think this is why you're going to see the blow up of Vox and Owen, because it's all going to fall onto Owen. So to all my ankle biters, to all the Gammas, to all the Redditors, to the 72 virgins, to Vox Day, to Owen, I cannot wait to see how this plays out. Vox Day, at the end of the day, it was your bravado that got you in this situation. Got a little big for your britches, bud. Why don't you go work on that streaming site? You know, go upload a couple videos from Vimeo, go bring them over to your site. What is it, Unauthorized 2.0, right? You got the big boy server? Site still looks the same. Owen's channel's still not there. Sounds like you guys are doing really good. Owen, you look like a homeless maniac. How's the wife and kids, retard?